What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Weekly Watermelon Soup. I'm Juan, and this week, buckle up. We've got earnings chaos, a SaaSpocalypse, and Anthropic just dropped something that made Wall Street lose its mind. Let's get into it. All right, so first up, big tech just dropped their earnings, and the numbers are insane. Amazon, Google, Meta, and Microsoft are now planning to spend nearly $650 billion combined on AI infrastructure in 2026. Let me break this down. Google's parent company Alphabet said they're spending 175 to 185 billion this year. That's double what they spent in 2025. Wall Street was expecting maybe 120 billion, so the stock dropped 5% on the news. Amazon, they're spending 200 billion in capex, mostly going to AWS. Their stock dropped 10%. Here's the tension. Investors are now asking, when does all this spending actually pay off? Amazon's first quarter guidance missed because of this AI investment. These companies are betting the farm on AI infrastructure, and we're about to find out if it was worth it. For finance teams, pay attention. This is the year AI spend has to show ROI or there's going to be reckoning. SaaSpocalypse. This is the big one. Anthropic released new plugins for Claude Cowork on January 30th. These are industry-specific tools for legal, finance, sales, and data marketing. What happened next? The software sector had its worst week in years. Thomson Reuters dropped over 15%. LegalZoom fell over 20%. FactSet, Salesforce, ServiceNow, they all got hammered. The S&P 500 Software and Service Index fell over 4% on Thursday alone, extending losses to 8 straight days. The index is now down 20% year to date. That's a bear market. Wall Street is calling it the SaaSpocalypse. The fear that AI agents can now do the work that companies were paying thousands of dollars per seat. Why pay for a $200 per month software subscription when Claude can do it? Here's the direct quote from one analyst. If 10 AI agents can do the work of 100 sales reps, you don't need 100 Salesforce seats anymore. This is real. The SaaS business model is being stress tested right now. And Anthropic wasn't done. On Thursday, February 5th, they released Claude Opus 4.6. Here's what's new. Agent teams. Instead of one AI working sequentially, you can now spin up multiple agents that work in parallel and coordinate with each other. Think of it like having a full team of employees working on a project simultaneously. 1 million token context window. This is up from 200,000, so 5 times as much. That's massive for handling large code bases and complex documents. I've had some issues uploading really large files, so this is super exciting for me and my clients. PowerPoint integration. Claude can now build sites directly in PowerPoint, reading layouts and fonts to match your corporate template. This is huge. I'm working with a few finance professionals and CFOs, and reporting on PowerPoint is critical. And so this is going to be really exciting to test out here shortly. Anthropic's red team tested Opus 4.6 on open source code, and it found over 500 previously unknown security flaws with no specific prompting, just out of the box. Huge for the cybersecurity space. The model now tops the finance agent benchmark for tasks like screening, due diligence, and market intelligence synthesis. For finance team, this is one to watch. Anthropic specifically called out financial analysis as a key use case. And OpenAI fires back. OpenAI wasn't going to let Anthropic have all the headlines. Same day, they launched Frontier, their new enterprise platform for building and managing AI agents. The pitch? AI coworkers. These are coworkers that get onboarded like employees, learn from feedback, and operate with clear permissions. It works with OpenAI agents, your own agents, and third-party agents, including from Google, Microsoft, and even Anthropic. Early customers include Uber, State Farm, Intuit, and Thermo Fisher. OpenAI says enterprise is now 40% of their business, and they want to push it to 50%. They also dropped GPT 5.3 Codex, a new coding model they claim was instrumental in creating itself. The race for enterprise AI just got real. Speaking of enterprise, Goldman Sachs just announced they've been working with Anthropic for 6 months to build AI agents for trade accounting and client onboarding. Direct quote from their CIO, Marco Argenti. Think of it as a digital coworker for many of the professions within the firm that are scaled, complex, and very process intensive. Goldman's CEO, David Solomon, said they're reorganizing the entire company around generative AI and will constrain headcount growth as a result. This is the playbook. Big financial institutions aren't just experimenting anymore. They're embedding AI into their core operations. Final story. There's a lot of talk about AI causing layoffs. Over 50,000 job cuts in 2025 were attributed to AI. But here's the twist. A Forrester report and Oxford Economics are both calling BS. They're saying many companies are AI washing their layoffs, blaming AI for cuts that are actually about overhiring during the pandemic and weak business performance. Why? Because we're automating with AI sounds better to investors than our business is struggling. Here's the kicker from Forrester. 55% of employers who blamed AI for layoffs regret it. Half of them will end up rehiring just offshore at lower salaries. So if you're in finance or back office roles, the threat is real, but not as immediate as headlines suggest. The companies actually deploying AI at scale are still figuring it out. Trust me. The opportunity is to be the person who knows how to work with these tools, not get replaced by them. That's the week. Big tech spending like crazy, software stocks getting crushed, and the AI wars heating up between Anthropic and OpenAI. If you want to learn how to actually use these tools in your finance work, check out watermelonsoup.io, and I'll see you next week.